That ball taking a little bit more turn. And the next one sliding on. Looks like a tough start out there for Khumalo. So Brian, a very, very experienced customer, the leading wicket taker for the Hollywoodbets Dolphins, and we can see why. Whenever he's in the team, he adds huge value with the ball for the Dolphins. And that one's gone right through the gate. It's missed everything. Khumalo's played down the wrong line. Roelofsen's missed the ball, and it's gone through for 4 bars.
As we watch that replay, Scully just on with the arm, through bat and pad, all the way to the boundary for the first boundary of the game.
A real streak of luck there for Khumalo. So Brian won't be perturbed by that. And back on the mark, inside half, goes to a vacant mid-wicket, and the first run's off the bat for the Tuskers.
Pranellan Subrian Skulls, he's had a good season so far for the Dolphins. Leading wicket taker for the Dolphins with 14 wickets. Classic matchup right now with the off-spinner up against 2 left-hand batters. Pranellan would know Cameron Delport. They've played a lot of cricket together.
A huge shot and given not out by umpire Ryan Hendricks. That he gestures for that ball to be sliding down past leg stump, and a really good start for the Dolphins.
As we look at that replay again here, Skulls. Just on with the arm once again, not much turn on offer. Delport just looking to clip that one into the leg side, but going down leg side. To open up proceedings at the other end, at the Old Fort Road end, Okushle Tele. He's been exceptional for the Dolphins since coming back home from the Titans.
Ele opting for third man and square leg on the boundary. He's stationed Kaya Zondo at first slip, looking to attack with this new ball and try and strike in his first over.
Kushle just straying onto the pads there. Tamsanka Khumalo just missing out on that. I think he would have felt he's missed out there. John Smuts at 45 up in the ring. A little bit of bat from Khumalo. Would have probably seen that ball heading out to the boundary. Okushle Tele just getting a little bit lucky on that first one. With the 45 up in the ring and the third man back, Tele looking to push this ball across the left-handers. He's probably going to be looking for that top of off, which is key right at the beginning of an innings with the new ball as he comes into Delport. Into that hard length and a scampered single for 1.
We see a change in the field for Delport as slip goes into mid-wicket. But now with that change, Kaya makes his way across back to first slip. We think Ele would look to be a little bit fuller now here with the slip, trying to get Khumalo driving off that front foot.
And a big heave from Khumalo, looking to take on that short boundary. That ball just nipping away. Going through to Grant Roelofsen behind the stumps for a dot ball.
Yeah, Khumalo looking to use his feet. Maybe anticipating that fuller length that I spoke of. Looking to hit the ball wide of mid-on. Ele drags his length back. And Khumalo ends up playing and missing by quite some way.
That one's a little bit fuller. What you've asked for, Scully. Khumalo on the run. Direct hit would have had him there. It's a bit of a misfield by John Smuts doing the backing up. Has allowed them to get through for the single in the end.
A nervy start there by Khumalo. He's gone after the fuller length. just short of Yorker length. It's gone to short extra cover, and they've run on the misfield. Cameron Delport will be fancying the seam up in the power play. Let's see how he finishes this over. Pitched up and driven straight. So Brian does the hard yards, comes around and cuts off.
Kushle going for the stumps there. Cameron Delport up forward, just presenting the full face of the bat on that. Brilliant effort in the field by Pranel and Subrian. We see the third man coming up now to Thamsanqa Khumalo and Andile Simelane going into a deep point position. Kushle from around the wicket now. Different line of attack. Outside off stump, the flashing blade of Khumalo. It's gone past the bat for another dot ball, another stunning over from the Dolphins. The score is 9 for 2 after, or 9 for none after 2 overs.
So Brian opting to bowl another in the power play here. Since he's looking to strike with the 2 left-handers in. He's normally very, very good in the middle overs, picking up key wickets, breaking partnerships when needed. But he looks to back himself now to be the guy to start the wickets. Or it's slightly shorter. Delport can easily rock back onto the back foot and knock it to cow corner for a single.
I think you're spot on there, Scully. Pranel and Subrian definitely looking to break through here. Classic matchup with the off-spinner bowling to the left-handers. Khumalo under a bit of pressure here. Just the 2 runs from 9 balls as Subrian comes into Khumalo. Down the wicket. Uses his feet really well. He's hit that one straight over the top for 6. Excellent shot. Release of pressure for Khumalo and the Tuskers.
Much needed boundary for Khumalo. Slightly fuller. So Brian's got it above the eye line. Khumalo accepts the invitation and goes down the ground for a maximum. Slightly flatter this time. Seems to have gripped.
No change in the field for Subrian there. He's bowled that one a little bit flatter but a little bit slower as well. And as we speak, there is a change to the field. Long on goes back. Subrian brings the long off fielder up. The young Tristan Lewis, the number 8 at long on. Reverse sweep. Oh, he's mishit that.
It's definitely evident, Zane, that as Subrian takes some pace off the ball, it seems to grip, making it tougher for the batsman. This time he goes quick. It's wide down the leg side, and it's gone for 5 wides. I feel like Subrian's tried to set him up there, slow, maybe expecting Khumalo to use his feet. He's fired one in. He's got his line wrong, and it slid past Roelofsen and through short fine leg all the way to the fence.
He's bowled him. At once through the gate. Thamsanqa Khumalo on the forward defense. Another one just on with the arm, and that's hit middle stump out the ground. Thamsanqa Khumalo has to go. He's making his way back to the pavilion. He has scored 8 of 12 balls, and the Dolphins strike first up. As we see the replay.
So Brian in, perfect length, not much footwork from Khumalo, leaves a gap open, an invite that is accepted wholeheartedly by Subrian as he knocks middle peg out the ground.
Cam Shackleton, the new man to the crease for the AET Tuskers, joining the senior partner Cameron Delport. Scully, you've played a bit of cricket at Kingsmead. Have you played with Cameron Shackleton, and how much do you know about him?
I haven't played much against him, but I know he is a very promising youngster. He walks into the crease now with the AET Tuskers at 21 for 1, with the final ball of the third over remaining. His highest score this season being 35 against the Paul Rocks. He would like to add to that score with just 2 games left in the CSA T20 challenge for the Tuskers. Shackleton looking to knock it down to long on for a single. It's stopped on the square by the bowler as we finish the third over. AET Tuskers 21 for 1.
The Dolphins will be happy with that. Pranellan Subrayan has done the job there. We spoke about him taking that second over in search of a wicket, and he's got the breakthrough for the Dolphins. Dolphins coaching staff will be happy with that.
100%. The risk has paid off, or the strategy has paid off. They've seen the 2 left-handers. So Brian has backed himself to do the job for the Dolphins, and he's done really, really well there. As we see Ele looking to start his second over, Cameron Delport on strike. They've kept the deep point back and third man up, as well as square leg. We're expecting back of a length bowling here. It's short. Delport uses his feet and inside half to backward square leg. Some excellent fielding on the boundary by Bradley Porteous and stopping it just to the single.
Cameron Delport showing good intent to come down the wicket. I think he knows with that field set that Okuhle has to be a little bit back of a length, hitting that hard length. It's quite safe for him to then come down the wicket, look to hit him over the top straight, which is a strength of his. Okuhle keeping the slip in for Cam Shackleton. He's got to bowl that fuller length, as you say, Scully. We are on an end strip, just sloping away from the right-hander as Tele comes in.
Ooh.
Oh, inside edge. Brilliant catch by Grant Roelofsen. 2 wickets down, 22 for 2. The Dolphins on top, the AE Tuskers under the pump here.
Shackleton slightly loose, maybe playing away from his body, looking for that ball to go away from him. We've spoken about that end strip. Ele has hit the seam, nipped it back and caught the inside edge of Cameron Shackleton's bat. As you watch as Ele comes in, that seamed back nicely. Shackleton playing away from his body and Roelofsen completes the catch.
Tando Zuma, the youngster, joining Cameron Delport at the crease. Just come back from the SA Under-19s. And he joins the senior partner, Cameron Delport, at the crease. Zuma with a highest score of 21 so far this season. The Tuskers versus the Rocks. And that was in Paul. With an average of just a bit over 13. He's going to need a lot more than that to get the AE Tuskers into a safe zone here. Okuhle runs in with 2 slips.
Oh!
That ball's now nipped away and it's taken the off stump. Top of off. That's what the Dolphins coaches will be working with him on. That's a brilliant ball. Off stump, out the ground. 22 for 3. The Dolphins well on top.
And Tando Zuma, what a first ball to get. An absolute peach from Ele. Maybe in the back of his mind, seeing previous balls nip back into the batters. Just seeing that one hold its line and taking the top of off stump. Castling, the man from Maritzburg. An absolute peach. And look at Ele go. What a start for the Dolphins. The men from Durban rewarding the captain's choice and taking the ball and fielding first. They've started like a house on fire here. As we see another local boy come to the crease. Kyle Nipper, a man with a lot of experience, looking to steady the Tusker ship here. He'll look to knock it around, get himself in, and try and take this innings as deep as possible.
Kyle Nipper, been around a long time. Played what was formerly known as KZN Inland. Tons of cricket for Inland. Nipper has played for the Dolphins as well for quite some time. Back in the colours of the AET Tuskers. Just the man for the job. Cool, calm head, lots of experience. As Cele comes in to Nipper, just defends that one, no run.
Nipper would have seen this situation many times before in his long career. He will be cool and calm and look to get this Tuskers innings underway.
A partnership is what is needed here for the AET Tuskers, Skulls. Two senior batters at the crease. No one better to do it. As Tele runs in. That one just nips away. Another dot ball.
As we take a look again at the wicket of Ntando Zuma. Oh, picture perfect. What bowlers dream of.
Okushek Tele has had a fantastic season so far since coming back from the Titans here, Skulls. He's on 13 wickets so far as he comes in to close out the over. Oh, LBW shot. That looked a bit high. Possibly an inside edge as well. No harm done. End of the over. 22 for 3 after 4 overs. The Dolphins on top. Tuskers requiring a partnership.
Okushek definitely enjoying his time back in Durban, enjoying his cricket, a man of a lot of emotion and passion, and it's always out there for everyone to see. Some of the best celebrations you'll see in domestic cricket, I can tell you that much, Zane Bucks.
This is quite a surprise here, Skulls. Pranel and Subrayan continuing. We thought he'd just have the 1 or 2 strike, getting one of the left-handed opening batters out. And that would be him. As you said, he bowls extremely well in the middle overs. And he's been effective at the death as well as he comes into Cameron Delport, who presents the full face of the bat on that and just knocks it straight back to him. So Brian with the third, Skulls. What do you think? What's the thought process of the Dolphins here?
Short and wide, and Sir Brian gets away with that as it's knocked to Marcus Ackerman at extra cover. My thoughts, Zane, Cameron Delport, the leading run scorer for the AET Tuskers. So Brian thinks if he can knock him over in this over, that should be the Tuskers put away. And it's well bowled. He's back on that length. Delport playing forward. Delport, generally a man who looks to take on the seamers up front. I would like to think that he's going to try and see out Sir Brian here, as he's definitely the threat.
He just knocks that one into the mid-wicket area for 1. Scully, 2 left-handers at the crease once again. That could be in the thinking of the Dolphins. Kyle Nipper as well. Pranellan would have played quite a bit of cricket with and against him. And I think if he can take one of these senior players with him at the end of this over, as you say, the Tuskers are in massive trouble. Pranellan just bringing the long off up. He's got 1 man down. Into Nipper, who just defends that, no run.
So Brian, I think, knowing Kyle Nipper very well, he's not really going to take on too much risk with the AT Tuskers being 23 for 3. He's dropped that man back now for this delivery. playing away from his body. Another tidy over for the Dolphins. The AET Tuskers, 23 for 3 after 5.
Just one run off that over, Skulls. Another fantastic over by Pranellan Subrayan. I just love the way he's playing with his pace. It's a little bit quicker, a little bit slower, but every ball just attacking the stumps, forcing a shot for the batters. The Tuskers have to be quite defensive now as they start to build a partnership. As we see Okushle Tele into his third over, the Dolphins without a bowling change, Skulls.
Dolphins definitely going for the jugular here, Zane. Both opening bowlers bowling right through the power play, looking to strike. Ele on fire. Ele to Delport. How does this play out? And it's smoked back over the umpire's head. That is the length Delport is looking for. Seam up, fullish length. Delport clears the left leg and slaps it over Dennis Smith's head. Dennis Smith having to take evasive action there. As we see Ele slightly fuller, searching for that wicket, and that is right in the wheelhouse of Cameron Delport.
If Dennis Smith wasn't awake at the beginning of that over, that's definitely woken him up, Skulls, and prompted a field change as well. With the long on going back. A big LBW shout. Umpire Dennis Smith says not out. Tele just dropped his length back a bit there. Hit hard length. It looked like it just skidded on that one.
That ball didn't look to bounce too much. Looked like it sat on that length. Delport standing tall. The ball sitting down. Luckily the decision going Delport's way. As Nele has decided to pull his length slightly back. He's still got square leg back. And now long on the fence. It's pitched up. Delport looking to use his feet, squeeze it through the offside. He only manages to find the cover fielder.
The Tuskers with a lot of pride to play for. They'll keep trying to put their best foot forward. As we've said, two experienced men at the crease. Estrele comes in. Overpitched. And that's a misfield by Jason Smith at extra cover. And that's gone through to the long boundary for 4. Estrele on his haunches. Not happy. Not a happy camper.
Ele not happy. However, that is a foolish length outside off. Again, the length that Delport is looking for, and he slapped it through extra cover, through Jason Smith, across the extra cover boundary. Delport enjoying the seam, looking to still move the game forward. The Tuskers playing with a lot of pride. I don't think they're going to look to back down today, and Delport showing that fighting character. And that is an absolute beauty to Cameron Delport. Ele finds his length again. A little bit of away movement off the pitch. And that ball makes its way through to Grant Roelofsen.
Excellent comeback by Okushle Tele there. Just bringing that length back once again. A little bit of nip away from the left-hander. That's where he's got to be. The captain, Pranellan Subrayan, just goes over to him. Just a bit of encouragement, a bit of reinforcement. Stick to the plan. That one, back of a length again, just picked up off the legs by Cameron Delport. Excellent fielding done on the boundary by Brad Porteous, and just the one run.
And that sees the Tuskers power play come to an end. 32 for 3 after 6 overs. Who do you find would be the happier of the two teams, Zane?
I think the Hollywoodbets Dolphins definitely are in the pound seats right now. 32 for 3. That's an excellent power play by the Dolphins. The Tuskers under a little bit of pressure, but two experienced batters at the crease. If they spend a little bit of time together at the crease here, Scully, they can definitely get the AET Tuskers out of a tough spot and into a better position come the last 5 overs of the innings. A change in commentary now. I'll make my way out, and Samuel Mafeking will join Brandon Scullard for the next session.
So Brian over pitches on leg stump. Delport happily knocks that into car corner. With the power play being done, we see the 5 fielders out on the ring. And joining me, as Zane said, Sam Mafeking. Welcome, Sam.
Thanks a lot, Scully.
Slightly slower from Sir Brian. The experienced nipper rocks back, waits for it to turn, and knocks it to the cover sweeper for 1. Sam, with Delport still going strong, you have to think that the Tuskers are going to rely on him to get them to a defendable total here today.
And he works it down to deep square leg, where Kaya Zondo picks it up, brings it back to the keeper. Definitely Scully, the longer he stays, the more of a chance they have to put on a presentable total here. Rocks back. Goes all the way to sweeper. Andile Simelane doing the job there on the boundary. Prenellen knows this as well, and that's why I feel like he probably bought himself on for another over. He knows if he can get him out here, like you guys said earlier, there's definitely a chance to be ruthless and take these guys out. Slides on this time, well defended. They know the AET Tuskers, they just need to make sure that Pren gets through his overs. They're not going to try and be too attacking against him, because he is a threat to them.
The final ball of the Sir Brian spell into Delport. Slightly short. Delport rocks back, cuts that in front of point. Some work to do on the cover fence by Simelane. He can't stop the 2. However, a fantastic opening spell by Sir Brian as we see the AET Tuskers move to 38 for 3 after 7 overs. As we take a look at the AET Tuskers scorecard, Cameron Delport still going strong on 18 of 19 deliveries. LA removing Shackleton and Zuma for no runs, and Kyle Nipper joining Delport at the moment. 2 experienced cricketers with Michael Erlunk and Keith Dudgeon still to come. I still feel like the Tuskers are in this game well and truly.
From the Alford Road end is Andile Simelane. Wide, outside off, throws his hands at it, is Delport.
A bit of a flash there from Nipper, a bit of a loosener from Simelane. He's got to look to settle here. They've kept mid on and mid off up. And that's a fantastic length by Simelane. A play and miss from Nipper. He's settled nicely with just his second delivery. As we take a look at Simelane's run up. An absolute peach of a delivery. And it's nicked off to the keeper. Simelane with a wicket with just his only 3rd delivery. Nipper flashing outside at a foolish wide delivery, and he's feathered it through to Roelofsen. Another wicket for the Hollywoodbets Dolphins.
Great start for the Hollywoodbets Dolphins, and also a great start to Andile Simelane. Simelane was actually in Maritzburg College a few years ago, and Kyle Nipper being his coach would be great satisfaction for him to be getting out his coach. Great length that, as we see on the replay. No feet, just uses his hands and the faintest of nicks. Outside edge, goes straight to Grant Roelofsen.
And walking to the crease, the AET Tuskers captain, Michael Erlang, another left-hander. I feel like we've just seen left-handers today. Shackleton being the only right-handed batsman to walk out to the middle today. Erlang has got a task ahead of him. Yeah, Sam.
A lot to do for the captain as he walks out. He'll have to stay for as long as possible with the senior batter Cameron Delport to be there towards the end, like I said earlier, to give the AET Tuskers a presentable total.
With constant wickets falling, you feel the Tuskers can't grab any momentum and having to rebuild at every interval. The Dolphins just squeezing tighter and tighter as you see the inner ring fielders get a little bit tighter. Erlang letting that one go through to the keeper. Simelane started really, really well here. The young man has got his tail up as we look at the replay of the wicket. Kyle Nipper flashing, helicopter-esque, feathering it through to Grant Roelofsen.
Driven to the sweeper cover there. Scully, with Erlang just walking in right now, you'd think that this will be his role. He'll just have to rotate and give a majority of the strike to Cameron Delport, who can be very destructive, as he's been playing a different role today, where we know him that he's a very attacking batter. But like you said, with wickets falling regularly, he's had to rebuild, and then every now and then when he gets a bad ball, take advantage of it.
100% Sam. The Dolphins have done well to stifle strike from Cam Delport as he splices one to the cover sweeper. They run hard. LA does great work on the boundary, cutting it down to one. Delport, frustrated, standing at the non-striker's end, seeing partners come and go. He's had to change his game, as you said, generally quite an attacking cricketer, likes bat on ball, but has now needed to manage this total and try and get his team to something competitive. Hopefully he can find an able partner in the captain, Michael Erlang.
And from the Mgeni Road, we see the new youngster who recently played in the SA Under-19 World Cup, Tristan Lewis, all the way from Pretoria. With the score currently 40 for 4, you'd think he'd want to attack the stumps and just try and get a wicket. Great start outside half of the bat. Roelofsen making the chase. And they get through for easy single. Great start from the youngster. They're hitting a hard length on middle stump. Outside half of the bat from Cameron Delport. The captain, Mike Erlang, on strike. First time facing Leers today. With the field coming up for the new batter. Deep square out. Fine leg, third man and sweeper being the fielders on the boundary. Lias Fuller this time, driven by Erlang. Too much work for Andile Simelane on the boundary, and that goes all the way for a boundary.
Lewis missing his length by quite some way. An inviting full toss to Erlang, who leans on it through extra cover, and that races away for 4. Something Erlang would have asked for to get his run chase off to a good start. What a comeback by the young man. That's a much better length. Running in, hitting the deck. Erlang looking to pull. The length probably not there. Erlang, a big fan of the pull shot. Always looking to try and hit the ball through the leg side. He's probably misjudged his length there and got away with that, Sam.
100%. It was a bit too full to pull there. Good hard length there from Tristan. Again, hard length. Inside edge. Great dive there by the boundary. Great effort. Okuhle Trele putting his body on the line there. Could have gone for a boundary, but he's made a great dive and stopped that ball from going all the way for a boundary. Michael Erlang seemed like he was a bit late on that one. The youngster rushing him there on that occasion.
Erlang, as seen there, practicing the pull shot, and that's forced a field change. Mid-wicket has gone back to the car corner boundary. Loose runs in, Erlang forward, knocking it back.
Score currently 47 for 4. Tough position that AET Tuskers are finding themselves in, but Scully, what do you think would be a good score with there being a short boundary on the west side, and then on the east side a bit more longer?
As Lewis digs it in short, Erlang gets inside the line, knocks it around the corner to fine leg to end the 9th over. AET Tuskers 48 for 4. A competitive total here, Sam, with the Tuskers 48 for 4. You would like to think that the Dolphins wouldn't want to chase any more than 120, 130. However, they still do have that man, Cameron Delport, at the crease. And as you mentioned, a short boundary to the west. 140, 150 could definitely be on the cards if we see a partnership put together here by the Tuskers.
Definitely, especially with these two with the worlds of experience. They've played cricket for a long time right now. Anything can happen. Simelane running in as Michael Erlang pulls out of the shot this time. It's a dead ball. Deep square out, fine leg. Sweeper and long on are the fielders that are out. Third man as well. Simelane looking to re-bowl this ball. Hard length. Just enough movement to beat the outside half of the bat. Good length that from Andile Simelane.
There seems to definitely be something in the wicket, Sam. Every time the seamers have run in and hit a hard length, they've managed to get a little bit of lateral movement off the surface.
Definitely, like you said, we're going to watch this replay now again from Simelane. Just enough in this wicket, and that's why you said 120. Anything more than that would be driven this time. A lot of work for Gele on the boundary. Clean pick up. Great throw. Would be quite an interesting total, as we've seen as well from Prenellan in the first over. When he bowled it slower, there's definitely some turn as well. So with the AET Tuskers having a few good spinners in their team as well, could be a tricky situation. So hopefully for the Dolphins, Hollywoodbets Dolphins, they can get through one of these batters. faint, Nick. Outside half of the bat. With third man being in the ring, goes past Grant Roelofsen, can't reach that, and that's all the way to the boundary for 4 runs.
With this field set and third man up in the ring, Simelane can't be bowling it short on that line. It's got to be in at the body and force Delport to hit to the cow corner and square leg. Man on the fence. He's got fine leg and third man up in the ring and bowling seam up. All Delport needs to do is get a little bit of bat on it and it's an easy boundary.
Better length, better line that time from Andile Simelane. That's where you'd ideally want to be to Cameron Delport.
Clever cricket from Cameron Delport. He's got the boundary. He just knocked it to the cover sweeper for 1, making sure that the Tuskers keep ticking that scoreboard over. Simelane into leg stump. Erlang knocking it into the vacant mid-wicket area for an easy single. The Dolphins have managed this short boundary very, very well so far, bowling Sir Brian to the majority of the left-handers, asking them to hit to the long east boundary. They haven't really had much opportunity to make use of that short boundary, and the constant falling of wickets have also dictated that the Tuskers are a little bit more reserved in their approach as Delport faces the last ball from Simelane and it goes through to the keeper. Delport trying to create some width, trying to access that backward point region, fails to do so, and the Tuskers are on 55 for 4, halfway mark. I'm going to welcome back Zane Bucks to the commentator's box. Zane, halfway stage. Tuskers 55 for 4. 2 experienced candidates and cricketers in the middle. How do you feel they will take on the youngster Tristan Lewis, or has Sir Brian picked his moment perfectly to bowl the youngster in this match?
Thank you, Scully. I think this is a perfect situation for the youngster Tristan Lewis to be bowling. The AET Tuskers with their backs against the ropes just allows the youngster a little bit of time to settle as the Tuskers try to build a partnership. Mikey Erlang looking solid at the start of his innings. That one just a touch short. Erlang just spoons that one over mid-wicket. Scampers back for 2. He's had a solid start. He's looked to play nice and straight when the ball's been hitting the stumps. The moment the Dolphins have been back of a length or a little bit shorter, he's just looked to pick them up over the leg side. He's due some runs, the skipper. We know he's good for it. As Tristan Lewis comes back into the skipper.
Full this time. Over pitch from young Lewis. Andile Simelane doing the work there on the boundary. He's been bowling well, Lewis. Hitting a good, very hard length. With some good pace there as well, with the previous ball that he bowled to Erlang, where he just spooned it over mid-wicket. Got hit high up the bat. So there's definitely something from this youngster. Field change this time with third man and fine leg being up. Yes, brilliant delivery. Enough just to beat the outside half of the bat. Grant Roelofsen taking a chest high, so there's definitely some extra lateral movement and also that extra bounce as we see smooth run up from the youngster. It's a hard. Cameron Delport looked like he went to square leg a bit there.
Exciting to see a youngster with genuine pace. As Delport comes down the wicket, big heave. He's missed it. That one's gone through to the keeper. But it's really exciting to see Sam, a youngster, part of the SA Under-19 World Cup squad. A later inclusion after the World Cup, making his way down to the Dolphins. But natural talent with raw pace. What do you think of the youngster, Sam?
Unbelievable. Really, really good guy. In terms of pace, it's really exciting. We are really blessed in South Africa to have such quicksters, such quick bowlers. And I've seen him in the nets as well. He's got something to offer with the bat as well. So really a good youngster. And then goes short this time with no mid-wicket. A lot of work will have to be done by Kaukono's Kai Zondo, who brings it in, and they run comfortably through for 2 runs.
Just pulling that one towards the long boundary, Sam.
Yeah.
Quite a comfortable 2 in the end. I think the Dolphins will be happy with that. The 5 men out. Restrict the boundaries as much as possible. 2s are fine. You and Brandon spoke earlier about that. Dolphins will probably want to keep the Tuskers to about a score of 120, 130. I think that would be a manageable chase. So they'd be happy with the singles.
Into the attack from the old forward end is Andile Simelane. So a very well-known player and experienced and very skillful bowler. Comes into the attack, has a knack of picking up wickets as well. So great for him to come into this situation. For the batters, they know they'll have to dig deep here. Erlang and Delport. The longer they stay, the more of a chance they have to put on a respectable total here. Zane, when do you think they can have license just to go a bit? As I say that, first ball 6, down leg from Simelane, short, not a great start for him. Erlang puts that away comfortably. It's a freebie. So we see on the replay, it was already going down leg. Erlang just helped it over the boundary.
Yeah, excellent shot there by Mikey Erlang. John Smuts, the man at short fine leg on the ring. Mikey Erlang just purposefully getting under that ball. It's quite a safe shot, just hitting that over the top. It's gone all the way for 6. Andile Simelane under pressure at the start of his spell here. As he comes in again to the captain, Michael Erlang. Oh, this time a touch fuller, but the ball just nipping down that slope once again. Wide called by umpire Dennis Smith. I think Mikey Erlang would feel he's missed out on that one. Just a little bit of bat, a little bit of tickle on that one would have gone inside John Smuts at that short fine leg position. And that could have meant back-to-back boundaries for the AET Tuskers.
Fuller this time. Mike Erlang just works it down. Too long on. Where Jason Smith picks it up.
Sam, just to answer your question about when's the right time to go. Look, I don't think there's too much left in that AET Tuskers lineup. Keith Dudgeon has had a fantastic season. We know he can hit a long ball. I just don't think there's too much more left in the tank after that. So Cameron Delport and Mikey Erlang are going to have to do the brunt of the batting here. I think they're going to have to take it quite deep. And then with 18 balls to spare with wickets in hand, I think they've got a good opportunity there to take on that short boundary and hit a few boundaries. But I think for now, Mikey Erlang's got to keep putting the bad ball away and rotating strike. I think Cameron Delport will play his natural attacking game. He's on 28 of 28 at the moment.
Wide again.
Oh no.
Ooh, no, didn't call it this time. Mr. Dennis, as he walked over.
Yeah, Mikey
Mikey
Erlang.
Erlang walking over.
That ball going over leg stump, Samo.
100%. Tactically, the Hollywoodbets Dolphins have been using the short boundary exceptionally well. So they've been bowling as the AET Tuskers have struggled to hit boundaries on the short boundary. Driven this time straight to extra cover where the captain picks it up clean.
I think that's a better line by Andile Simelane. Probably a touch full, but a better line there. He's got the third man back as well as the deep cover. And that's got Mikey Erlang heading towards the long boundary. I think you've just got to be on that off stump, maybe a bit outside. You come too straight, it's just a little pickup for Mikey Erlang into that short boundary on the west stand. As Erlang just comes down the wicket there, knocks that down to Jason Smith at long on. Just one run to finish the over. I think a good over for the Tuskers, Sam.
100%. 70 for 4. 71 for 4 after 12. The youngster back into the attack again. Brendan Soban giving the bowlers quite a long spell today. Himself bowling 4. Bokuhle bowling 3. Youngster going again now for his third as well.
Yeah, I think Pranil Soban's been fantastic since taking over the captaincy from Keshav Maharaj. As Mikey Erlang comes down the wicket there, Tristan Lewis just going wide death, that ball going through to Grant Roelofsen. Just back to Pranil Soban, he's been awesome. Keshav Maharaj captained the first few games of the season before heading out to the IPL. And then Pranil Soban with big boots to fill has done exceptionally well.
Over pitches this time. They'll have to run. Makes it comfortably. Lewis has been bowling well, but every over he's given the batters just one ball just to hit. But it's been brilliant to see him running in every ball, giving it his all. And you know, as a youngster, they're always looking to target you. But he's been very calm and composed and executed more often than not.
No lack of effort, Samo. Most definitely you can see this boy's a trier. Runs in and gives it his all. I think he'll learn that it's execution that wins you games. I like what I see here is making that field change on his own. He's brought the captain up from long off onto the ring at mid-off. John Smuts going down to third man as he runs in to Delport, back of a length. Delport just hitting that one back into the surface for no run. And that's a valuable dot ball. Yeah, exciting youngster. I like what I'm seeing, the way he takes control of the field. Working well with the captain, Pranil Soban. Always in communication. Delport down the wicket on the pull. And a drop by Kayo Zondo at the deep mid-wicket boundary. The partnership was building for the Tuskers. Cameron Delport, 28 of 29. Or now 29 of 30. Mikey Erlang, 22 of 20. The Dolphins would have wanted to break that partnership. The youngsters created the opportunity. The chance has gone down.
Improvises this time. Mikey Erlang, with fine leg being up in the ring, he just helps it over for a boundary. As we show here with the replay, he improvises there. Mikey Erlang, he watches the ball closely. Brilliant execution from Mikey Erlang there, as it's quite a dangerous and also a high risk shot to play. But he watched it all the way onto his bat. And there's a field change here. With Kuhle Kele, who was up in the ring, goes down to fine leg. Brad Porteous is at mid-on right now.
How often do we see that, Sam? A drop catch and then a boundary the next ball just to rub salt in the wounds. Tristan Lewis would be disappointed. He's a youngster. I don't think he can show that to the ever-experienced Kaya Zondo as we watch this replay. Mikey Erlang just across the stumps. Picks that up. Down to the fine leg boundary for 4. How costly is that going to be, Sam?
It's only a matter of time before we find out, but definitely as a bowler I know that feeling. It really is the worst. After that ball goes down and the next ball goes for a boundary, hopefully for the Hollywoodbets Dolphins it's not a big chance, that as we know that this man can be dangerous towards the latter part of the innings. Andile Simelane coming back into the attack again, looking to hit that off stump and middle stump hard, with third man being up, with third man being down and fine leg being up, the shorter boundary. As I say that, they make that change with Tristan Lewis coming up to the ring. So third man and fine leg is up in the ring.
Simelane into Delport. Slower ball. Delport just flat bats that down to Jason Smith at long on. A very uncharacteristic innings here, Sam, by Cameron Delport. He's on 31 of 32. We'd usually see him with a strike rate of 120, 130 plus. He's had to bide his time due to those early loss of wickets. But I'm sure he's just holding fuss here until he gets the opportunity to let loose once again. As you see a dot ball there by Andile Simelane. Andile needs a good over here. A bit expensive in the first over. Just a little bit off his line. Bowled a little bit too leg side, I think, in that first over. He needs a good over. He needs a comeback here. I think the Dolphins need a wicket if they just to stem the flow of runs at the end of the game.
Full outside off of the bat this time. Mike Erlang has actually been batting well compared to what we were saying earlier, that he just needs to come in and just rotate the strike. But his strike rate is currently over 100, as he's from 26 of only 24 balls, and we're seeing the opposite from Cameron Delport.
I think,
but it's very mature from him to do what he's been doing in this innings. Driven this time. Great bit of fielding. Great effort by Okuhle. Not his first time he does that today.
Yeah, I think the Dolphins performance analyst Kushen Kishun will be giving Okuhle a +1 or 2 there.
100%. Definitely.
Yeah, just on to Mikey Erlang. I think he's been absolutely fantastic. He's been absolutely fantastic. Yeah, he's put the bad ball away when it's been on offer, and then he's rotated the strike in between that. As he picks up Simelane, that ball just dropped short of Marcus Ackerman at the cow corner boundary. Just Simelane rolling his fingers over the ball this over, Sam, taking pace off. Just that cutter going away from the left-hander. The left-hander is looking to take on the short boundary. We know he's been effective with that. Extremely effective for the Paul Royals in the SA20. And then again this season for the Dolphins, as he comes into Cameron Delport.
Skillful bowler he is. Ends off that over with a Yorker. And it's a dot ball.
4 runs off the over. A much better over by Andile Simelane. None for 14 in his 2 overs. The AET Tuskers 80 for 4 after 14 overs. The Dolphins will be happy with this, Sam.
Yeah, definitely. I think from the AET Tuskers point of view, they would also be okay with this after having the start that they just had. To just rebuild, and Mikey Erlang as the captain coming in, rotating strike as often as he can, and then just waiting for the bad ball and putting it away. Cameron Delport just withholding that trigger and just making sure that he's rotating the strike whenever he gets a chance, and it's been good cricket all round, but definitely the Hollywoodbets Dolphins in the driving seat. Andile Simelane from the Mgeni Road.
Just a change of end here for Andile Simelane. Bowled his first spell from the Old Fort Road end. Now at the Mgeni Road end. As we see the replay, Simelane to Erlang. Just a bit of nip away down the slope from the left-hander. Erlang looking to go downtown there. It's just nipped away from the bat. A good start for Simelane. Bumper. It's over the shoulder. Mikey Erlang asking the question to the umpires. Umpires are happy that it's a dot ball. You see the replay of that. It's one of the first bumpers we've seen today, Sam.
Yeah, 100%. I would have loved to see more bumpers being bowled, especially towards the longer boundary. Tristan Lewis has the pace to exactly do that. I felt he could have bought maybe a couple of wickets. And this time they take out mid-wicket and take him to the corner boundary. He hits it straight to that fielder that's just been put out right now. Great tactical work from the Hollywoodbets Dolphins as the plan comes together and they get out Michael Erlang. They know he loves the pull shot. To his detriment this time, and he hits it straight to the youngster who just been moved right there, the previous ball. The AET Tuskers again lose another wicket. As we see Simelane drops it a bit short. Michael Erlang playing the shot that he loves playing. Unfortunately for him, he has to depart.
Hollywoodbets Dolphins needed that wicket. The Tuskers were building a partnership. The skipper goes at a crucial time, just as they were setting up for happy hour right at the end of the innings. Tristan Lewis, the man who's taken the catch, just had a catch drop there. The last over from the Mgeni end of his bowling. He's made sure this time. And that's the 5th wicket down for the AET Tuskers. Dolphins having a well-deserved drink.
New batter coming in to bat is Keith Dudgeon. Just spoke about him right now. He's got a lot to do as well with not a lot of time. 5 overs, he'll have to bat here with Cameron Delport and do the strike rotating as often as he can. Simelane will look to take him down as early as possible. Attacking field they have. Only 3 guys out currently, 4 guys out.
Dudgeon has had a fantastic season for the AET Tuskers. This season, Sam, he's been brilliant with the ball. He's played a couple of crucial knocks as well. Simelane takes him on first ball, dot ball. Yeah, just an incredible player, a hard-working player. As we see that wicket again, Simelane just going across Mikey Erlang, a little bit shorter. Erlang on the pull to the long boundary, just holding out to Tristan Lewis. We've got a left-hander, right-hander at the crease here, Sam. There's always someone hitting towards that short boundary, which is critical now for the Tuskers. LBW shout. That's just a bit high. Umpire Hendricks signals leg by. Simelane been excellent so far in his comeback spell, Sam. Just a 1 leg by off this over. The wicket. 1 ball to go. How do you think he closes this over off?
Yeah, it's been good skill execution in this over. Hoping that he hits that hard length right now. If it goes, hopefully for them for a dot. At worst, maybe 1. But yeah, he's been bowling well since he's come back from the Mgeni Road. Goes fuller this time and he knocks off stump. There he goes. Celebrates. Special side for a bowler. Off stump cartwheeling.
Haven't we seen that a few times today, Sam? Stumps out the ground. Double wicket maiden for Andile Simelane. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant for the youngster. As you said, brilliant comeback spell. Both key men, Cameron Delport, Mikey Erlang, out in the same over as we see Simelane. Delport giving himself room. Simelane goes full and off stump goes crashing out the ground. Ronaldo celebration.
Yeah. Cameron Delport looking to give himself a bit of room there, trying to target the short boundary. As he misses that one. Two new batters coming onto the crease right now. With the Hollywoodbets Dolphins on top right now.
And with that change with the batters, we have a change in commentary. Samuel Mafokeng makes way for Brandon Scullard. Welcome back, Scully. A lot's happened since you've left us.
The wickets continue to fall. A huge blow for the Tuskers, losing both in batters. Delport, seeing the removal of Erlang, loses his off stump in the same over, giving himself room. Possibly too much risk with still 5 overs left in the Tuskers innings.
Special Akwayo goes to Dudgeon. Dudgeon just quite an easy cut there to the deep cover boundary. Jason Smith does the fielding. Scully, I think the Tuskers had just done the hard work, hadn't they? Cameron Delport, a very uncharacteristic but hard-working innings, getting the Tuskers out of trouble. Mikey Erlang came in and played a brilliant innings at over a run a ball. Now they find themselves, when it should be happy hour, in a spot of bother.
Peshlakwaya into Manikum. 100% Zane. The Tuskers put the partnership together. It was almost go time, ready to launch, waiting for those last 18-12 balls, and Andile Simelane absolutely removing both batters that looked like they were going to get the Tuskers to something competitive. Peshlakwaya goes short. Oh, and it's dropped by Roelofsen. He wasn't able to get under the ball, backtracked, and the ball just looped over his head, got a hand to it, and it's gone down. A well-directed short ball into Manikum, facing only his second delivery. As we see the replay, he's gone for it, he's top-edged it. Roelofsen unable to settle under the ball, and Manikum lives to fight another day.
Decent effort in the end there by Grant Roelofsen. I think might have just been able to turn a little bit quicker and run backwards, get to that ball a bit quicker. Dile Peshlakwaya into Dudgeon. Dudgeon just looking to drop that. Kayo Zondo doing the work there at point.
Peshlakwaya definitely surprising Manikum with that short ball. Andile turning back the clock to his high school days, bending the back, getting it up past Manikum's nose. Just manages to evade Roelofsen.
Dudgeon just giving himself some space. Leg side and knocks that one down to long on. Excellent fielding on the boundary there by Brad Porteous, just for one.
Keith Dudgeon, another player who likes to be positive. He likes to take the game to the bowlers. As you mentioned earlier, he's had an unbelievable season with bat and ball for the Tuskers. He's going to have to try and take this game as deep as possible before he tries to risk any further wickets.
Off cutter once again by Andile Peshlukwayo. That ball just nipping back into the stumps. Manicum getting a glove on it, managing to scamper through for a single. Scully, how far can Keith Dudgeon and the AET Tuskers take this? There's 4 overs left in the game, 24 balls. We spoke about 120 potentially being a competitive score from where they were. Just how far can he take it before boundaries become a priority?
I think the play here for the Tuskers is going to be to get Dudgeon on strike. Dudgeon to wait for anything loose from the Dolphins and maybe look to go in that last over. As we said, there is something in it for the bowlers. There was a bit of turn on offer up front when Sir Brian bowled his opening spell. So I think Dudgeon's going to need to look for something loose, similar to how Michael Erlang played. He wasn't flashy, picked up the bad balls, knocked them away for 4, and rotated strike really well. Key for the Dolphins here, I think, would be keeping Manicum on strike. As he faces up to Simelane, uses his feet, Shah from it on, as they scamper through for a single.
Scully, I think you're right. Dudgeon's got to play this the same way Mikey Erlang did. He's got to put the bad ball away. He's got to try and take it as deep as possible. We spoke about 120, which is still on the cards right now. 34 needed to get there of 23 balls. As Simelane comes into Dudgeon, who gives himself room towards the offside. That ball's gone down leg side. Umpire Henrik saying no wide. As Dudgeon's given himself that space. Watch the replay. Dudgeon just steps across to the offside here. Andile Simelane goes firing that ball in at the leg stump. Just misses. But no wide. I think the other option here, Scully, is Dudgeon's just got to go. He's got 22 balls. He's just got to go. Is 120 even enough? Dolphins power packed in that batting lineup. Is 120 enough? Or has Dudgeon got to go? As he picks that one up between the cow corner and the long on fielder for 4. Brilliant pickup towards the short boundary. That's exactly what the AET Tuskers need.
Dudgeon walking across the stumps, looking for any length to access that short boundary at the west stand. As we see the replay, goes back and across onto off stump, gets the length he's looking for, and splits the fielders at cow and long on for a boundary. As Sir Brian walks up to his bowler and they discuss possible tactics, which see third man come up into the ring. You see a deep point go out to the long boundary. Sir Brian himself makes his way to long off, as we must expect Simelane to attack the wide line here. Dudgeon using his feet, walking across, and he's knocked it over long on's head for 6. Beautiful use of the feet by Dudgeon. He's looked at the field change. He's anticipated Simelane will be going outside off, and he's once again connected. This time, the ball going for 6.
Keith Dudgeon, we've seen him do this so often. Shuffles across and down the wicket. Picks that up towards the short boundary for a maximum. Beautiful hit. Lovely to see the crowd there, Scully. Lots of youngsters in the crowd. Oh, brilliant fielding. And run out. That is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. By Andile Simelane. That ball drilled back by Keith Dudgeon. Simelane with a diving stop. Stops it cleanly on the turn. Shies at the stump. Runs out Keith Manicum or Kirtland Manicum at the non-striker's end. A brilliant piece of cricket from the athletic Andile Simelane.
The Dolphins finding a way to bounce back throughout this game. Simelane at full stretch and dead eye knocks middle stump out the ground to send Manikim back on his way to the dugout. Outstanding piece of fielding. Andile Simelane is having an absolute time this afternoon at Hollywoodbets Kingsmead.
Just as the AET Tuskers get a bit of momentum, just as a few things go their way, the Dolphins find a way to claw their way back into the game. A superb piece of cricket by Andile Simelane. As the umpire Henriks throws that ball back to Andile Simelane, new batter to the crease, Smanga Shlebela. He spent a lot of time here at KZN Coastals, Glenwood High School student, straight from high school coming into the KZN Cricket Union, playing quite a bit of cricket for the Dolphins B side as it was. He's at the crease now with Keith Dudgeon. Dudgeon just happy to drop that ball for one of the last ball of the over and keep the strike.
Smart cricket from Keith Dudgeon. As we see here, a replay of that fantastic bit of fielding. Simelane, and he's off. He's off on an Imran Tahir. Brilliant piece of fielding.
Another change in the bowler skulls at the Old Fort Road end. Pranel and Subrian backing the youngsters once again. Tristan Lewis back on. 0 for 19 in the first 3 overs. He's got 1 over here to finish his spell.
The Dolphins only making use of 5 bowlers here, so the Tuskers can anticipate who is going to see out this bowling innings for the Dolphins. The youngster Tristan Lewis back to finish his allocation. 3 overs, none for 19, as he comes to the experienced Keith Dudgeon. He's got the long boundary to the east. As it's sprayed down the leg side, tickles the pads of Keith Dudgeon and goes down for 4 leg bars.
Maybe just a bit of inexperience showing there, Scully, from Tristan Lewis. He's bowling to the leg side, which is the long boundary. I just don't think he has to go that straight, Scully. I think he could still hit the stumps, force Dudgeon to make a play and hit that ball into the long boundary, or give himself that room and hit it over or through the offside towards the short boundary. You've you don't have to be that straight. Third man comes up, long off goes back, hard length. Dudgeon just happy to block that for 1.
It'll be interesting to see Zane the field change to the new batter. You would anticipate that Lewis is going to try keep the ball outside off stump, get it through to Roelofsen's gloves. You'd want to see Shabela face the majority of this over and keep the destructive Keith Dudgeon down at the non-striker's end.
Shabela on strike. Hard length once again. Just a bit of pop in the wicket that time, Scully. Off the thigh pad, and they scamper through for 1. Importantly, Keith Dudgeon back on strike. AET Tuskers currently going at 6 runs to the over. If they continue at that rate, Skulls, they'll get that 120 that we spoke about. Gives them something to bowl at. I don't necessarily think it's a winning score, but it's something to bowl at, isn't it?
Definitely. As Luz makes his way into Dudgeon. And he's gone. Seam up off stump. Dudgeon's done really well. He's used the pace. He's opened up the face. And he's found the hole at third man. John Smuts was up in the ring. Loose bowling with fine leg and third man up. He's tried to go hard length on off stump. And Dudgeon's done an excellent job and finding the gap and picking up another boundary.
He's a good player, isn't he, Skulls? Just great awareness. We've seen the power game from him. And then we've seen just that little bit of finesse as well. He's got all the makings of an excellent cricketer.
11 runs off this over so far. The Tuskers will be happy with that. 108 for 7. One ball remaining in this 18th over. Shabela looking to partner Dudgeon. Oh, and he's cleaned up. Tristan Lewis with too much pace for Shabela. Shabela not much footwork. Leaving those stumps exposed. And Lewis making an absolute mess of the furniture.
Just the wrong option there by Smanga and Shlabela. It's just looking to drop that one. Maybe run it down to third man. Just chopping that one on. Wrong option. I think last ball of the over, you got to be looking for the boundary. Get Keith Dudgeon on strike for the next over. He's just opted to look for the one. He's lost his wicket. Importantly though, Keith Dudgeon on strike. Bowling change, Okuhle. He was brilliant, wasn't he, Skulls, in that first spell. 2 for 13 in his 3. This is the last over with Dudgeon hitting towards that short boundary. We know his strong leg side, hitting towards that west side, or that west stand. He's definitely got to target that west stand.
Dudgeon looking to use his crease here again as we see him take guard on off stump, possibly fourth stump as Tlele runs in. And he's cleaned up. Dudgeon walks across. Tlele hits his length and Dudgeon gets an inside half onto the stumps.
Okuhle Tlele. How good has he been, Scully, all season? He's been absolutely fantastic. The man for the moment executed his Yorker to perfection and he's removed the danger. The dangerman, Keith Dudgeon. Yorker, inside edge, leg stump, out the ground. Absolutely fantastic. And that's his 3 for 13 in 3.1. Pranel and Subrai and Okuhle Tlele in conversation. 1 wicket to go, but wanting to get this field right. If they can finish off the AET Tuskers here before they get to 110, that'll be first prize. The batters will be backing themselves to chase this down. Scully with 11 balls to go. Is it balls to the wall here from the AET Tuskers? Do they just knock it around and try and get to that 120 mark? How do they approach this?
Well, Zayn, we all know the tail-enders love a bit of a swing. I think Ele is going to be targeting the stumps here. I don't think he's bowling anything short. He's got fine leg, square leg back. And there we go, Mbulelo Badaza. Not really looking at that ball from Ele. Has a hack across the line. Ele deciding to bowl that ball into the wicket.
Budaza not looking comfortable against the pace of Okuhle Tlele. I don't think he wants any of this, Skulls. Bit of a hack, as you said. I think Okuhle Tlele has just got to hit the stumps here.
Full and straight, and he's knocked him over. Ele ends the Tuskers innings just as he started it. Leg stump out the ground. Fantastic bowling display from the Dolphins.
Okuhle Tlele finishing off that spell 4 for 13 in his 3.3. an absolute show. Well bowled, Akushle Tele. Well done, the Dolphins. Pranellan Subrayan, the captain, has marshaled his troops really well. The Dolphins full of energy. You could just see a spring in their step. Every bowler that's had the opportunity has taken it with both hands. That's an absolute fantastic first innings for the Dolphins here. The Tuskers with a lot of work to do here, Scully.
Yes, winning the toss. Captain Pranellan Subrayan will be very happy with the work from his troops. As we take a look at the scorecard, Cameron Delport top scoring with 30. Captain Michael Erlang with 29 off 29. Keith Dudgeon tried to get the Tuskers innings to a close with 19 off 15, but the Dolphins running rampant.
And with that, we'll take a short break and we'll return for the second innings.
Welcome back to a sunny Hollywoodbets Kingsmead as we prepare to start the second half of this CSA T20 challenge encounter between the hosts, the Hollywoodbets Dolphins, and the men from Maritzburg, the AET Tuskers. Tuskers setting the Dolphins 108 off their allotted overs. Tuskers being bowled out in the 18th, 19th over after a superb bowling performance by the Dolphins. The men from Maritzburg looking to finish on a high in the CSA T20 challenge. They have lost 4 out of their last 5 games, losing the last 3. But this is a derby and anything can happen. Joining me in the commentary box is Zane Bucks. Zane, your thoughts on the first half of this encounter?
Thank you, Scully. Lovely to be with you on air. And yeah, I really enjoyed that first innings. I thought the Dolphins probably had the better of things in that first innings. With a target of 109, you would think that would be quite a comfortable chase for the Dolphins. The Kingsmead wicket has been quite a difficult wicket for batting, but at 5.4 runs to the over, with the batting lineup that the Dolphins have, I think it will be quite a comfortable chase. I don't think they need to do too much in the way of boundary hitting to get there. They'll have the boundary or the short boundary to their disposal for all of the innings, and I think with a good power play here and then rotation of strike in the middle of the innings, they should get home quite comfortably. As you say though, it's derby day, anything can happen. These players would know each other quite well. They would have played a lot of cricket together and a lot of cricket against each other. So although I'm saying a comfortable win for the Hollywoodbets Dolphins, I still think they're going to have to work hard for this one, Skulls.
As we look at Keith Dudgeon starting us off to run into Kaya Zondo. A bit of shape up front for Dudgeon. Zondo watches that onto the bat and guards it down to third man for a single. Kaya Zondo, for those of you at home, the strong Dolphin supporters, you won't be used to seeing Kaya Zondo open the batting in T20s. However, he's done a decent job for the Dolphins this season. Dolphins finding themselves third on the log and pushing to get into those semis. A possible bonus point victory with a few other results to go their way might see them challenge the Warriors for second place. But let's see if the Dolphins go chasing that elusive bonus point today as Dudgeon starts off to Grant Roelofsen and beats the bat with an absolute beauty. Dudgeon has had success with the new ball in this T20 challenge, testing the outside edge of Grant Roelofsen. An absolute beauty to face first up.
Yeah, good swing on offer here for Dudgeon, Skulls. But I like what you've said there. Do the Dolphins go on and chase that bonus point win and challenge the Warriors for the second place position? Or do they just get over the line and secure that semi-final spot? I think the Dolphins have got to stay in the moment there. It can be quite dangerous, Skulls, where you look to put the pressure on, look to force things a bit, go for the bonus point win, and it comes back to bite you. I think they've got to stay in the moment here, take it one ball at a time, secure the victory. If they get themselves into a position where they can get that bonus point win, then absolutely go for it. Otherwise, secure the semi-final spot and then return that focus to those semi-finals. It's a bit of a mix-up in the middle there with Roelofsen and Zondo, but in the end they scamper through for the single.
Zondo raises his hand to his partner, apologizes as they come down to have a chat. The single was definitely on as the ball trickled through backward point. As we see the replay, picked up by Nshabela and Zondo making his ground.
Yeah, I think Kaya just a little bit blinded in the follow-through by Dudgeon there. Couldn't quite see where that ball was. Roelofsen, a good judge of a single though, calling him through for the one. Dudgeon to finish the over. Or not to finish. But again, we see that away shape. Zondo just has the time up front here, doesn't he, Skulls? Can have a look at one or two.
Kaya Zondo setting up deep in the crease. He does favour playing square of the wicket and off the back foot. That can be risky against the swing of Dudgeon. You would think that they've identified the threat of the new ball and are definitely going to give themselves a chance to settle in here. As Dudgeon drops it short, and right on cue, Kaya Zondo looks to the square pull and knocks it to the man on the boundary for a single.
3 runs off the first over. A good over from Dudgeon there. Scully, a little bit of a away shape. We've spoken about him quite extensively today so far on commentary. He's had a fantastic season, hasn't he? And he started off well here today.
He's done fantastically well this season for the Tuskers. He's looked to strike with the new ball, and with bat in hand, he has been destructive for the Tuskers. As we see a different challenge now, as Mbulelo Budaza opens from the Ngani Road end. He'll look to shape the ball back into the right-hander, attacking those stumps. Kaya Zondo back on strike. As mentioned, Kaya likes to play square of the wicket. Let's see how he fronts up to Budaza as he takes guard on off stump. That front foot open. And Kaya unleashes down the ground. Ball sits in the outfield and they come back for a 2.
Kaya Zondo just signalling for a new bat there. Just hit a couple of them that look like they've come off the toe end. Hasn't gone very far. Might be signalling for a dead bat and a change of bat.
And it looks like we might have trouble here for Budaza. He's limping, pointing to his ankle. As the captain Erlang tries to give him some support. The physio is on the field. Budaza seems to be making his way to the dugout.
That looks like the end of the spell for Budaza. We see him walking off with the AET Tuskers physio. Just limping. It seems like an ankle issue. Could have something to do with his Achilles. This doesn't look good for Budaza. Captain Mikey Erlang doesn't have much hair, but he'd be pulling out whatever hair is left on that head of his. This is the last thing the Tuskers would have wanted, Skulls.
Budaza, just a single delivery. The inside ankle of that landing foot seems to have given way, and that is the end of Budaza's evening.
Mondli Kumalo, Skulls, to finish off that over. Good to see him back on the cricket field, and good to see him with the spring in his step. Just in comms there with the captain Erlang, getting the tactics right before he bowls that first ball at Kaya Zondo.
Captain Marky Erlang being thrown a bit of a curveball here, had to go to one of his seamers early, with Budaza leaving the field with injury, as we see Mondli Kumalo run into Kaya Zondo.
Good start, just hard length. Kaya looking to latch on anything pitched up. The moment the ball's hard length, just looking to drop that one and get Roelofsen on strike. Kaya heading towards a short boundary here, Skulls. Mondley's going to have to be careful with his line. Kaya with that open stance set up to clear the leg side field. Short that time by Mondli Kumalo. Umpire Hendricks just signalling a wide that's a little bit too far outside the off stump. Crosses the wide line.
Kumalo, a different type of bowler, not necessarily suited for the new ball. A skiddy bowler looking to hit the deck, whereas Budaza would have looked to pitch it up, get that new ball to swing as Dudgeon did, and look to threaten the stumps. Beating the bat. Kumalo again looking just to angle the ball in. Zondo not getting across, possibly looking to hit the gap at third man, plays and misses.
Yeah, I think Kaya just looking to hit that third man fielder there, Skulls. Just thinking the Dolphins batters, as we watch this replay, Kaya just open stance, looking to run that down to third man. It's pitched up. Kaya going over the top. Just pops that over Cameron Delport at mid-on. Comes back for 2. I like that approach from Kaya. Although they're only chasing 109, the Dolphins don't want to dig themselves into a rut and think they have too much time than they do. They still have to be positive. Still have to take on the bad ball. If the ball's pitched up, you've still got to hit it over the top. I like that approach from Kaya.
Banged in halfway down. Kaya set up for the short pitch delivery. Hits it wide of mid-on. Delport doing the fielding. And they come through for another single. 9 for no loss with 1 ball remaining in the second over. Kaya Zondo facing the majority of the deliveries. Grant Roelofsen about to face his first delivery from Kumalo.
Grant Roelofsen, fantastic batter. We all know what he can do. Just lets that one go. End of the over. Monle Kumalo, decent over in the end there, Scully. Dolphins 9 without loss after 2 overs, circumspect. But wickets intact. Both these batters very experienced for the Dolphins. Both, we know, lots of pedigree. Been around a long time. They've still got to execute well and get the job done and get their team over the line here. Dudgeon still in the attack for his second over. The slip out now. We saw that beautiful shape in the first over. Slip out. Third man and deep square leg on the boundary.
Dudgeon straying down the leg side. What are your thoughts on taking the slip out? We saw him beat the bat a few times in that first over. And with defending just 108 runs, you would think Dudgeon would look to try and strike with the new ball here.
Yeah, I would have kept the slip in, Skulls. I think Grant Roelofsen in particular has got out, catching that outside edge this season and in seasons past. I would have kept the slip in, Skulls. Allow him to pitch the ball up, hover around off fourth stump, find the outside edge.
Tuskers captain Marky Erlang maybe identifying that Kaya Zondo seems to be more of the aggressor. Should he get off strike, we might just see that slip come back into place for Grant Roelofsen.
Just out of screenshot there, Skulls. 2 points for Kaya. Forward short point, that's the captain, Mikey Erlang himself. And then your stock standard point just behind square. As Kaya lofts that over extra cover towards a short boundary, it's plugged in the ground. He's only going to get the 2. I like that intent from Kaya. As soon as the ball's pitched up, he's quite happy to hit the ball over the top.
Kaya Zondo seems very comfortable and sticking with his game plan, looking to take the game forward, attack the Tuskers bowlers in this power play. You feel he's not going to go searching against Keith Dudgeon. However, if the opportunity presents itself, he's definitely going to try and take the bowler down as Dudgeon comes in once again. He comes straight. Kaya lofts it over mid-wicket, and that rolls away for 4. The first boundary of the Dolphins innings.
Lovely shot by Kaya Zondo. As we said, he's been quite happy to hit the ball over the top when it's been pitched up. This ball, just another example of that. Just shuffled across the stumps a bit. Dudgeon just straying a little bit too straight there, and Kaya just picking that up over the leg side field towards the long boundary for 4.
Smart cricket by Kaya Zondo. He's walked across into the channel. This time, instead of targeting the stumps, Dudgeon goes slightly wider, and with third man up, Zondo places it between backward point and short third man for consecutive boundaries. It can be very tempting for a bowler when you see a batsman covering their stumps. You want to try and trap them LBW. You get sucked in and then hit through the leg side for 4. And Kaya is... Oh, it's chipped up and taken. A bit of shape from Dudgeon. He's pulled his length back. That ball seemed to pop slightly. Zondo unable to hold back. Slightly hard hands. High up on the shoulder of the bat. And it loops to short extra cover. And the Dolphins lose their first.
As we watch that replay, as you said, Scully, just a little bit of a wave shape. Kaya Zondo turns square, hard hands, hit the top of the bat, and a comfortable catch at extra cover. AET Tuskers needed that, Scully. They were under the pump. Roelofsen and Kaya Zondo doing well and building up a small partnership there. They needed that breakthrough, and they've got it in the form of Keith Dudgeon. Hasn't he been fantastic?
Keith Dudgeon removing Kaya Zondo, who was getting some momentum. Kaya Zondo goes for 17 of 13 balls. And we see the senior pro, John Smuts, make his way to the crease. Tons of experience. John Smuts looking to start strong here. Over 200 T20 matches for Smuts. 300s, tons of experience, Zane.
Oh, he's just Mr. Experience himself, isn't he, Scully? He's been around all parts of the world. He's had a fantastic SA20 with the Durban Super Giants. He's got to get the Dolphins over the line here, but he faces up to Dudgeon with a bit of a waist shape, and he's just allowed that ball to go. End of the over. Good comeback over from Keith Dudgeon. As we see the wicket of Kaya Zondo. He's got to make his way back. Good over for the Tuskers. Skulls 24-1 after 3. Tuskers got themselves into the game.
Tuskers needing that wicket. Dudgeon removing Zondo, especially after the loss through injury of Mbulelo Budaza. Tuskers definitely need their senior players to step up if they are to defend this total.
It's Kumalo into Roelofsen. Slightly overpitched. Roelofsen on the drive. Just a quick single to Dudgeon at mid-off. Roelofsen, we know that's the strength of his Skulls.
Yes, Roelofsen looking to play off the front foot. mistimes that ball to mid-off, allowing him the opportunity to come through for that single.
The Tuskers boys would know Roelofsen quite well, Scully. Obviously schooling up in Josie. Roelofsen making his way down to KZN and initially playing for KZN Inland before coming down to Hollywoodbets Stadium, Kingsmead. They'd know he's strong on the drive. They'd also know he's got a hell of a pull on him, doesn't he? John Smuts just not happy with something at the side screen, just signaling to the umpire to make sure that everything's good to go before he faces up to the next ball. Worth John Smuts just on the cut. He's missed out. I think he'd feel hard done by there. Definitely missed out on a boundary ball there, Skulls.
John will be playing with a lot of confidence, as will the Dolphins. Currently third on the log, trying to make this 4 wins from 4 and take some momentum into those semi-finals. Khumalo beats Smuts again on the outside. This time, a better line. Smuts playing down the wrong line. The ball beats the outside edge. Makes its way through to keeper Ntando Zuma.
As we saw in the Dolphins bowling innings, Skulls, just something in the wicket for the bowlers throughout the innings, wasn't there? You just see a little bit here for the Tuskers as well. Just a little bit of in shape. Hits the deck and just nips away. Again, Mondli Khumalo just firing that one in. Just no nip on that occasion, but definitely something in it for the bowlers, Skulls.
Yes, there has been throughout this match. It's been a really good cricket wicket so far. The bowlers that have put their hands up have gotten the rewards for their hard work, as Khumalo comes in to close out this 4th over to Smuts, who carves it outside over cover point, and they come back for a second. The Dolphin batsmen just struggling to find their timing at the start of this innings.
Wicket's just got a bit of nip in its, Skulls, and might be a bit too paced as well. We saw Kaya Zondo going over the top and just not catching it so cleanly. Seen the same there from John Smuts. I think the approach is the right one though. They've still got to look to hit the ball over the top in the power play. Boundaries might be hard to come by once the power play is done, so you've got to cash in when you get the opportunity in that power play. But Keith Dudgeon still in. I think Mikey Erlang, captain of the AET Tuskers, knows that's his strike man. He's got to continue with him. Keith Dudgeon has got to get 1 or 2 more here. If the Dolphins continue on at this rate with wickets in hand, they'll get over the line comfortably. The only thing to stem the flow here would be to take wickets. As we see Dudgeon into Roelofsen. Down leg side. Tuskers appeal. But umpire Dennis Smith calls that a wide, Skulls.
Keith Dudgeon hoping that Grant Roelofsen was turning and making his way back to the dugout. Roelofsen taking a few steps, turning around saying, "I'm not going anywhere." Roelofsen looking to score a few more runs here for the Dolphins.
That one just nipping up the slope and goes quite a long way as well, Skulls. Get the ball in the right area here, you can make it really difficult for the batters. That one just holding the line. Roelofsen trying to drop that for 1 behind point.
Possibly a change of tactics here from Dudgeon. We see him looking to bowl quite tight in on the stumps. He's got square leg back. No slip to Roelofsen as we predicted. Looking to make sure that if Roelofsen misses, that Dudgeon will hit. As Roelofsen tries to work the ball through the leg side, gets an outside half. Dudgeon adjusts his line. He sees Roelofsen come across the stumps. And once again, the Dolphins batters with a bit of luck as the ball loops over the infield for another 2.
Yeah, just timing hard to come by here, Skulls. We've seen that away shape. We've seen that ball nipping off the wicket. Just making timing difficult for the batters. Dudgeon into Roelofsen. Just drop that behind point down to the third man fielder for 1. He's really good there, isn't he, Skulls? You don't bowl an awful amount of dot balls to Grant Roelofsen. He's got the ability to hit the boundary but also rotate strike really well. John Smuts, just an absolute brute of a man, isn't he, Skulls? Can't get it wrong too often to him, can you?
Anything loose and John Smuts will be looking to make you pay as Dudgeon runs in. Good length, good line, great area. John in behind that.
I think the Dolphins batters would know that Keith Dudgeon is the main man here for the Tuskers. They probably could be a little bit more reserved and circumspect when facing him, knock him around, and then capitalize off the other bowlers' Skulls.
Yes, you would think anything extremely loose that they would be happy to accept. But otherwise, they have 100% identified that Dudgeon is the danger man. And with the loss of Budaza, that also brings into the equation a 6th bowler that the Tuskers would need to look at.
Yeah, most definitely. Whoever that might be, they'd be looking to attack him. We spoke about the Dolphins earlier on going for that bonus point win. At this stage, certainly doesn't look like it. It looks like they'd just like to secure the win and secure that semi-final spot, Skulls. John driving that one on the up through extra cover for 4 towards the short boundary. Lovely shot. Boy, we've seen the batters struggle to time the ball so far this innings, but wow, he's made that look easy. Hard length by Dudgeon. And John Smuts just leaning on that, letting his hands hit through the line of the ball for a fabulous 4.
Dolphins 31 for 1 after 5 overs. Smuts would be very, very happy accepting that over-pitch delivery. A bit of shape still there for Dudgeon, but John Smuts is too good and he's not going to miss out on that. And dispatches it for 4. As we see Monli Kumalo bowling the final over of the power play. Good length. Roelofsen looking to pick it up over wide mid-on. Cloths it. Luckily for him, it doesn't go to hand. Roelofsen possibly trying to make the most of this final over in the power play. He's faced 9 deliveries now for his 5 runs. And it's overpitched and hit down the ground for 4.
Stunning strike by Grant Roelofsen. Shuffles across to the offside. Monli Kumalo fires that one into the stumps. But Grant Roelofsen with a fabulous strike. Straight down the ground for 4. With that, he's on 9 of 10. And the strike rate back to where we'd expected from Grant Roelofsen. Monli Kumalo gone full again. A beautiful looking on drive from Grant Roelofsen for 1. I think the Tuskers players know the strength of Grant Roelofsen on the pull shot here, Scully, and they're not going to give him anything short. If they're going to they're going to fuller. But he's still got a wonderful drive, hasn't he?
Yes, definitely a statement of intent from Grant Roelofsen, looking to come at Kumalo as he runs into Smuts. Goes short, and Smuts hits it well in front of square. Looks like that's cleared the boundary, and umpire Ryan Hendricks signals a 6, raises both arms up. The Dolphins ending this power play with a flurry of runs. John Smuts looking to accept any bit of short bowling, and receives that from Kumalo as he comes in once again. It's full and lofted over the bowler's head for another boundary. The Dolphins looking to put Kumalo to the sword here.
Monli Kumalo under the pump for sure here, guys. Overpitched once again, and John Smuts just frees the arms. Hits that straight down the ground for 4. Full once again, and John just knocks that to Cameron Delport at mid-on for no run. That's the end of the over. A big over for the Dolphins. 15 runs from it. And that's the end of the power play. 46 for 1 after 6 overs. The Dolphins in a powerful position. Currently at 7.7 runs to the over. Only needing 4.5 runs to the over to win the game. With that, we'll have a change in commentary. Brandon Scullard makes way for Samuel Mofokeng. Sam, welcome back. You've missed quite a bit of action there in the power play. What do you think of the first 6 overs so far?
Yeah, what a start for the Dolphins. Unfortunately, to lose Kaya Zondo in that manner. A guy like Keith Dudgeon looking to shape the ball away, trying to probably look to play him a bit more straighter. See Grant Roelofsen also lobbed one in the covers there. But other than that, I felt the Dolphins have been playing the situation quite well. Like you said, it doesn't look like they're going for the bonus points. But with Kaya Zondo being in there at that time, it looked like they were going to chase this down quite quickly. It would be nice to see someone kind of playing that role, but these guys are just knocking it around nicely. Kirtland Manigan into the attack from the old forward road end. Bowling to Grant Roelofsen. The cow corner, deep square and long on. Full, he just works it around. Great running. They come back for 2. Brilliant running towards the long boundary. Grant Roelofsen and John Smart getting on their bikes there and making a very quick turn.
As you say, Sammy, brilliant running to the long boundary. I think the Dolphins will be looking to do that now with the field spread. Manikem short this time. Roelofsen on the pull, just a one this time. The Dolphins currently needing 81 or 59 balls. That should be comfortable. Cricket is a funny game, they say anything could happen. But I think the order of the day now for the Dolphins is rotate strike, run hard to that long boundary and capitalize on anything loose to that short boundary. As we see John just knock that one into the mid-wicket area for 1. And that's the 50 up for the Dolphins in 6.3 overs. A partnership of 30. That seemed to have happened in no time, Sam.
momentum into those
Very
semi-finals.
Indeed, Mr. Bucks. Beautiful cover drive. Great effort. Bit of fielding. Got a great hand on it. Otherwise, that would have been 2 runs or possibly 4 runs. Some Sanka there at the covers. Making a great stop.
And Kaya.
Yeah, there's no risk needed for
Oh,
the
it's
Dolphins.
chipped up and take.
Manicum drops it a bit more shorter, and John Smut works it to the cow corner area. Amazing to see how that body still moves. Gets into the gear very quickly. First ball of the over, I saw him running too. Great to see that from the experienced John Smut.
He's got number 21 on his back, Samo. Rolling back the years. Still young at heart. But wow, what an incredible cricketer. What an incredible career John Smuts has had, Sam.
Most definitely.
Roelofsen just happy to work that one into the leg side for 1 to finish off the over. Decent first over from Manicum, just going for 7 runs. The important thing for the Tuskers now is that they break through. Order of the day is wickets, and they need quite a few of them. Captain Mikey Erlang just discussing tactics with his fellow players as we see a bowling change. Smanga in Lebesla.
Interesting to see them going spin from both sides, Zane, especially knowing that there's definitely something in the wicket for the seamers. But I guess with Bulelo Budaza being out, they'll be quite thin in that department. Smanga taking the ball away from the right-handers. Looking to probably entice the batters to go towards the shorter boundary.
Yeah, with the injury to Budaza, I think the Tuskers would be light on a seamer. Just looking around the field, we know Cameron Delport has done the job as a seamer over the years. As Smanga starts off to Grant Roelofsen, who just knocks that one down to Cam Delport for 1. But yeah, Sam, definitely light on a seamer here. Do they go to Delport? Give him his dues. He's sort of not in the same mold as a Simelane, Etele, a Peshlo. But he might be needed to do a job here as Smanga goes into John Smuts, who's happy to knock that down to long on once again for 1.
Definitely will have to come in. Just looks too easy currently for the Dolphins as they just ticking it over quite nicely, and you would want to stop some runs in the inner ring or from some end. You would think bowls it slower. Roelofsen rocks back on the back foot, works it well to the offside.
Yeah, Sam, just as you've said, it just looks a bit too easy for the Dolphins batters right now. The Tuskers have got to do something. Dolphins require 53 of 75 balls. As the Tuskers, you've got to make a play now. Wickets are what's going to win you this game, so I think Mikey Erlang has probably got to look to be a little bit more attacking here and there. Get an extra fielder into the ring. He's got the slip in, which is a positive. But the Tuskers need wickets. Bit of a shimmy, fancy footwork by Grant Roelofsen. In the end, just a casual leg glance for 1.
You can see the class and difference between the spinners. Brendel and Soban earlier not going for a lot of runs. Even though, yes, he bowled in the power play. Great finish there from Smanga there, bowling it much more slower through the air.
Yeah, 5 runs off the over. Schlebela with a decent over there, but doesn't look like getting through. Doesn't look like getting a wicket. The Dolphins will have to make the mistake if something's going to happen. Kirtland Manicum is at the top of his mark to bowl his second over. Something's got to happen here. He's got to attack Sam. He's got the 5 guys out on the boundary. Deep point, long off, long on. Cow corner and deep square leg. Bring one of those up. Bring someone up. Let them hit over the top. Let them make the play. It's the only chance you've got.
Right there. Exactly like you said, Zain. You can't just give the game to the opposition. You got to make something happen here. Either mid-off come up, or even sweep on the offside. Almost go straight to deep square there. Like we just said recently, that it will require a lack of concentration from the Dolphins batters for them to get out here. Roelofsen almost hitting it straight into the hands of deep square there. Better timing, and that was out. He survives to face another ball again. But currently, he's off strike, and John Smart will be facing Kirtland Manicum. Fuller straight, well driven, too long off. Again, looks very easy out there for these batters. They need 49 of 69 deliveries. Roelofsen on strike again. Roelofsen looking a bit more positive, hitting the ball hard towards the boundary fielders, which is a positive to see. Anything can happen on the boundary, 5 meters to his left or 5 meters to his right. Could potentially get a boundary, but he just got one on that occasion.
This has been a better over for Manicum. Just the 3 singles from it so far with 2 dot balls. Can he get a wicket to finish strong here for the Tuskers? Smuts on the sweep. Just picks up 1 to the cow corner fielder. It's been a couple of good overs for the Tuskers. 5 runs off the Schlebela over. 4 runs off the Manicum over. 9 runs in 12 balls. But as we've said, it's wickets that's going to win you this game. Dolphins going along comfortably here, guys. 47 to win of 66 balls. Should be a walk in the park.
Definitely, Zain. As the Dolphins batters just take a quick drink there. It's quite humid here in Durban. And
tactical drinks break there, Sammy. Tepang Ditole bringing on a drink for Grant Roelofsen and John Smuts. Maybe also a message from the coaching staff. I think the Dolphins are well set. We may see them just up in the ante a bit here and chasing that bonus point win now.
swept well by John Smuts, straight to deep square as he gets 1 for that. It's been a tough season for the AET Tuskers. You can see that looks like there's no answers right now for them in this game. Something's got to give for them if they're trying to chase this game. Gets slapped hard by Grant Roelofsen straight to extra cover. Manicum picks it up clean.
Schlebela fires that one into the stumps and Roelofsen up to the task. Just knocks that one down to long on for 1. just looking at this field, Schlebela has the long off. He's got the extra cover, the point, and that deep cover. We see a change now. The captain, Mikey Erlang, coming out of the slips and into a catching extra cover position. Schlebela looking to hit that middle and off stump. We've seen John on the sweep quite a bit, Sam.
Yes.
He's sweeping towards that short boundary. This one's wider. Looks to sweep again. I think good awareness of that and good execution by Schlebela here. As we watch that replay, just a little bit slower outside of stump. John just premeditating that sweep. As he picks that one up, flicks it into the west stand. Wow! This man is strong. The power of the man. The power of those forearms and in that wrist. Just a flick of the wrist, Sam. And that's gone over the cow corner fielder for 6.
There's a great execution there by John Smuts. He's been trying to target that leg side field boundary. On that occasion he gets it right. This time he tries again. He hits it straight to long on, gets the single. Great bit of cricket after the boundary, getting 1.
And with that, Sam, it brings up the 50 partnership for John Smuts and Grant Roelofsen. Boy, they haven't been troubled much, have they, Sam?
And not at all. Not at all. Cruising along nicely, making sure that they're getting the Hollywoodbets Dolphins over this line. And with that, we got a change in commentary. Brandon Scullard, welcome back. Scully, it looks really easy for the Dolphins batters out there currently. What are your thoughts if you were in the AET Tuskers team right now?
You've got to gamble now if you're the Tuskers, if you wanted to pick up a few wickets. As Manicum darts it in, Smuts rocks back, hits it through the offside for 1. Dolphins just needing 37 of 9.5 overs. I've seen a change in intent in the Dolphins batters. I must say I believe that they are looking at this bonus point.
Drives it down to long off. Definitely there's been a change of intent ever since Tepang Didole brought on the water for them. Great bit of execution from John Smuts. They're hitting that 6. And they've just looked much more busy at the crease. John Smuts going on the reverse sweep. Brilliant execution. Gets all of the bat on that. And it rolls all the way for 4 runs. As we just said right now, there's been a serious intent. The intent has really changed, which is great to see the tempo as we see well executed reverse sweep with that angle that Manicum is bowling. Brilliant execution there from John Smuts. Great awareness as well.
Manicum bowling his right arm offies from around the wicket to a right-handed batsman. Smuts identifies the angle and goes on the reverse and executes it perfectly to pick up another boundary.
Again. This time great bit of fielding there as they run through for 1.
Smuts looking to repeat the dose. This time well stopped by Cameron Delport in the backward point area. Manicum's got the long boundary to the leg side to bowl to. I'm surprised he's staying around the wicket, creating a bit more angle, allowing the Dolphins batters to score through the offside. Roelofsen loves going over extra cover, one of his favourite shots. As Manicum comes in again. Run out chance. Smuts, that big diesel engine got going. Got him across the line once again.
Great bit of running there, as you just said right now. He takes off so quickly for a man of his age. That body is still fresh and goes really. Michael Adelang just got pulled over to point. The Dolphins player is hitting it straight to him, and great bit of running there. Manicum Fuller this time. Smuts just works it to the cow corner.
Lots of experience from John Smuts. Those two reverse sweeps forced a field change. The mid-wicket went across to backward point to try and cover that area, exposing the leg side. Final ball of the over. Smuts back on his crease, back on his stumps, knocks it to the leg side and keeps strike as he looks to exploit the short leg side boundary from the Umgani Road end.
$80 for 1 with Smangaliso still bowling. Smuts goes on the sweep again. It goes straight to deep square for 1 run. Hollywoodbets Dolphins only needing 29 of 53 balls. So we see a tactical change here from Smangaliso as he brings out an extra cover that's going all the way to the boundary.
Smanga must be tuned in to the broadcast. He's heard Roelofsen loves that deep extra cover and he's put a man back. Well executed bowling by Smanga. Some pace off, allowing some turn. Roelofsen hitting the ball straight to cover. They've got 3 men in the ring on that offside. As the ball is lofted down to long off and pouched by Keith Dudgeon. A well worked wicket for the AET Tuskers. Brave, some flight, balls thrown up. Roelofsen's taken the bait and the wicket is completed with a safe catch by Keith Dudgeon on the fence.
Yeah, great bit of bowling there by Smangaliso, as you can see there on the replay. Floats it up. Roelofsen hits it straight up into the air. Keith Dudgeon completing that catch. New batter in is Jason Smith. Also a very destructive batter.
Jason Smith, known for his positive intent. This might just be the confirmation that the Dolphins are looking to chase down this bonus point. We usually see Marcus Ackerman walking to the crease at this stage. However, Jason Smith, big strong man, confirms the intent of the Dolphins to try and chase down this bonus point. That second wicket partnership, 61 runs that have put the Dolphins in this position where they can roll the dice, they can gamble. They might give up a few chances chasing this bonus point, but they are well set. 28 runs to win. As Smith faces up to his first ball. An intent shown straight away. Use of the feet. Is that a chance gone down, Sam?
100%. Michael Adelang there. Short catching position. There's a full chance there. No doubt could have taken that. Hit quite hard by Jason Smith as well. Wouldn't want to be standing over there when he's batting. Nonetheless, chance goes down. Field change. Smangaliso puts a deep extra cover on the boundary, but he's like 10 meters in because it is towards the long boundary. Reverse sweep from John. He's been playing it very well today. Unfortunately, doesn't beat the fielder this time. He hits it straight to Captain Mike Erlang, who's at point. Good bit of bowling by Smangaliso. Wide this time. Passed almost off the wicket. Bowling it much more slower. Got to turn there as well.
Smanga does not want to come straight. He knows that short boundaries on the leg side. As he goes flatter and fuller to try and close out the over. Smuts hits it to that deep extra cover fielder. Dolphins 84 for 2 after 12.
It's good over there from Smanga. Opportunity gone down there in the covers, but he also picked up a wicket. 84 for 2 after 12 overs, with the Dolphins steering the ship as they need 25 runs of just 48 balls. Manicum still into the attack. Mikey Erlang, captain, goes to point. There's no mid-wicket. Cameron Delport, backward point with him. And it goes straight to Cameron Delport. Through for a comfortable single.
Jason Smith backing up, calling John Smuts through for what ended up to be a quite easy single to the man on the ring. Jason Smith showing a lot of intent. Curlin Manicum into Smith. Manicum bowling that leg stump line, and Smith just knocks it into a vacant square leg for a single.
John Smuts just works it to the deep area where Keith Dudgeon picks it up at cow corner. Easy runs just being scored right now, as these batters are looking very comfortable just rotating the strike here.
Smith and Smuts would have done the calculations. A runner ball gets them to that bonus point, as Erlang does the fielding at mid-wicket. Manicum a little bit flatter that time. Smith forward, knocking it to mid-wicket for no run. That time a little slower, does turn, but Smith is up to the task, and down to long on the ball goes for a single.
Erlang goes out of that mid-wicket area and he goes back to point. Manicum. John Smuts sweeps it very hard. A lot of ground to cover, but it's all the way to the boundary. And between cow corner and square leg, they both gave a good chase, but none of those two fielders could get to it. Once again, John Smuts playing that sweep shot exceptionally well. If it's not the reverse sweep, it's the sweep shot. He's really putting these spinners under a lot of pressure.
John Smuts very strong on the sweep. the slowness of the surface. Not many of the batters have hit the ball down the ground off the spinner. John Smuts identifying that, looking to go square, sweeping, reverse sweeping, and being very effective.
I feel this is going to be the over for for Jason Smith. Yeah. The intent, as I said, great bit of fielding by Keith Dudgeon there, stopping it to go for a boundary. And the batters run through for 2 runs. As I said, I feel like Jason Smith is going to take Smunga down in this over with 15 runs to get. He's in the mood. Slower this time, try to hit it to the offside, but he plays and misses it. Good bit of bowling by Smunga there. Changed up his pace. Straighter this time, darts it in, and Jason Smith picks it up comfortably into the crowd. All the way for a maximum. That's why he came in earlier. And that is also 100 for the Hollywoodbets Dolphins.
Smith bringing up the Dolphins 100 off just 13.2 overs. As we look at the replay there, right in the slot. A free flow of the blade. And Smith deposits it as he uses his feet. Knocks it in the gap. Oh, and it's 4 runs. Almost a collision by the 2 Tuskers fielders. The placement superb by Smith. Schlabela goes quicker, flatter. Smith's footwork gets to the ball on the full. And his timing is superb. Nothing that the Tuskers fielders could do to stop that going for a boundary.
Missed out this time, Jason Smith.
Just the 5 runs needed here for the Hollywoodbets Dolphins. Smith comes down the crease and powers it to the boundary for 4. A look of disappointment on Jason Smith's face, wanting to end the show on a high. However, slightly full, gets to the pitch and hits it strongly down the ground for 4.
Well driven there by Jason Smith. Powered down the ground there. Expensive over for Smangaliso. And the captain has brought himself on with only 1 needed. So he brings up everyone into the inner ring where John Smuts facing.
John on 45 off 34. Taking his team to the brink of victory as they need just the single run to wrap up this contest. A bit of luck for John Smuts as the ball goes through the hands of the fielder and makes its way across the rope for 4. Ending this match, a dominant display by the Hollywoodbets Dolphins. Dolphins coming away with a bonus point victory over their KZN neighbours, the AET Tuskers. An 8-wicket victory. A dominant display with bat and ball, Sam.
Yeah, 100%. That was clinical from the Hollywoodbets Dolphins, from the bowling, the fielding, and now with the batters as well doing the job. John Smuts showing his experience, manipulating the bowlers and the fielders, and what an innings he played.
A valiant effort by the Tuskers. The Durban boys, however, too strong on the day. Playing with a lot of confidence. Dolphins go down to the Eastern Cape to take on the Warriors on Sunday as we look at the scorecard, Sam.
Grant Roelofsen there, starting off with Kaya Zondo. Good start there from the two openers, but initially it was this partnership here that had a bit more intent, and they brought their team home to win here by 8 wickets.
John Smuts unbeaten on 49. As we have a look at the bowlers' stats, Keith Dudgeon picking up the wicket of Kaya Zondo. Smangaliso Njabela with the other wicket, removing Grant Roelofsen, as the Dolphins have cruised home to an 8-wicket victory. The Tuskers host the Lions in Maritzburg on Sunday for the final fixture in the final round of the CSA T20 Challenge before we make our way to semi-finals the following Wednesday and Thursday, culminating in a much anticipated final on Sunday. Thank you for joining us, for witnessing this display of skill, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. From myself, Brandon Scullard, and co-commentators Zane Bucks, Sam Mafokeng, good night and thank you.